Welcome to MIAA Virtual Online Media Day. We're here with Northeastern State head men's basketball coach Mark Downey. First season with the Riverhawks. Coach, you had awfully busy off season for you guys.
Yeah, we got in April and tried to hire a staff really quick and get some guys together, and was fortunate to keep Sean Davis here, that was the GA, and does a really good job and knows Oklahoma really well. And then my first call when I got the job was to a guy by the name of Nathan Kennedy, and he had worked for me at 2 other stops at Charleston and West Alabama, and you know, is someone that is very loyal and hardworking and knows the D2 landscape a little bit. And I was lucky to get him to leave Montevallo and come to Northeastern State. So I was excited about that. But we hit the ground running. We had 3 weeks with the team last year, the roster last year, and evaluated them and made some decisions. And we kept 4 or 5 guys from the previous team, and then brought in 13 new ones. So we revamped the roster a little bit, and it was an exciting summer and a busy summer, but we think we've got a good group of guys. We think we've got a good group of character guys, and I like them so far. I like where we're going with this team.
You mentioned 4 returners. Just talk about the impact that they'll have this year with this mesh of 13 newcomers.
Well, I can't say enough about our returners. You know, not just guys that work hard every day, but really good people, really good students. You know, starting with Tanner Mouse, who played quite a bit of time last year. What a great kid. One of my favorites that I've coached in my 23 years, just in the short time that I've had him. And you know, I think our whole staff will say that about him. Just a warrior, a guy that plays really hard and works really hard every day. Montre Williams, also back from last year, the leading scorer, kind of a combo guard. We'll probably play him more off the ball at the 2 guard this year, but has just been great on campus, in the classroom, on the court, being a leader. I think we're asking more from him than anyone's ever asked from him before, and we're looking for him to have a great senior season. And then Trent Cantrell has been this guy. Talk about just a great person. Did a summer internship, kind of a spiritual summer internship, where he went to Destin and was in ministry all summer and working, and got in great shape while he was down there in Destin, Florida, and just had a good summer. So he came back in tip-top shape, and he's a great kid. And these 3 guys, along with Gordon Hill, who came back as well, have all taken their game to another level, which has helped our program immensely. And I'm excited about those guys as much as anybody. So really, and even the walk-ons, even, you know, guys like Hunter Smith that stuck around with me, and all those guys have welcomed me and welcomed our staff and made this transition a lot easier. So we're grateful to have them, and they'll be a big part of what we do this year and a big part of our success.
You know, obviously coming in late in the recruiting process, you know, you mentioned 13 newcomers, and obviously you look at the current roster, it's a makeup of people from all around the country. Just talk about that whole process, and who do you really like coming in?
Yeah, we needed help, you know, with only keeping those 4 or 5 guys around. We needed help all over the roster. So we really wanted to start with the point guard position. That was something that was really important to us. We felt like we needed to solidify the point guard, and just watching Montre Williams, we know that he can play the point, but we thought he was more of a 2 guard. So we tried to go out and get 2 or 3 new point guards, and the first one that we got was Lucas Antonunez, which he comes in from Toledo, played at North Idaho Community College, where he led his team to I think a 34-win season. They just had an unbelievable season his sophomore year, and we recruited him a little bit from North Idaho when we were at Bowling Green a couple years ago, and as an assistant there. And he's a point guard. He's a leader. He's a guy that, not a wow guy, but a guy that just gets you into your offense and makes shots and does a lot of the little things. And then the other point guard that we brought in is a freshman, and we are really excited about him as well. Corian Mason from Douglas High School in Oklahoma City. I don't know how we got him. It was just kind of right place, right time. Got a little bit lucky. Corian's a Division I player. There's no doubt about it. He could have played for us at Fort Wayne. He could have played for us at Bowling Green when I was at the Division I level. This kid's a winner, a good student, tough kid. wants to do everything right. He's a pleaser, really has bought into our program and bought into our style, and if we can keep him healthy, he's been banged up a little bit, but those 2 point guards have really come in and done a great job, and they'll play a lot of minutes for us this year and hopefully hold down the fort there at the point guard. And then at the 2, we have Montre, and on the wing, we basically don't have a 2 and a 3. We really have wings that we talk about, and we have Montre, and then we have Jameer Andrews, who I also helped recruit at Bowling Green and helped sign at Bowling Green a few years back. And he ended up, when we left Bowling Green, he ended up going to Albany, and he played 1 season at Albany, and then his senior year last year got hurt. So he got a medical red shirt and graduated, so he's a graduate transfer. And this kid's a prolific shooter, can really score, can really shoot the ball. Big body kid, about 6'3", and mature. Like I said, he's in grad school and he's been through the wars, and he also played at a very good junior college program in Sheridan College in Wyoming and had a great career there, almost 19 points a game as a sophomore. But really just a prolific shooter, can really get his shot off, has a quick release, knows how to play the game, and will help us put up numbers this year. There'll be games where he makes multiple threes for sure. And then, with the other returners we have coming back, we added a couple guys on the wing as well. Another freshman, Gabe Salib, who played at Lee Academy last year, a prep school in New England area. He's going to help us a little bit. Josh Boer from Lewisburg College, went to a D2 national championship in junior college last year. Just a tough kid, a tough player, does what you ask him to do. He's really going to help us out. And then Isaiah Bellamy, another transfer from Central Arizona, who will have 3 years to play. Put up some good numbers at Central Arizona last year. I think all these guys are just trying to get acquainted to what we're trying to do, our system, our style of play, how hard they need to play. All these guys are just learning that, and we're looking forward to coaching them as we go forth. And then we brought in a lot of different, we needed some work in the post. We didn't really have much in the post coming back. Gordon Hill's been a pleasant surprise. He's grown a little bit. He's playing harder than from what Coach Davis and what some other people in the program from last year have told me. He's just made strides that are unheard of. So he's going to play some minutes for us. And then we brought in Zach Lee from Otero Community College. He started off at Tennessee State and actually started as a freshman at Tennessee State. 6'7", 6'8", very good, above the rim athlete, shot blocker. He has to, with some eligibility issues, he has to sit for the first 7 or 8 games this year, but will really be good for us once he gets back on the court. And then we brought a couple D2 transfers just to give us some depth in the post. Ty Oberg from Montevallo came over with Coach Kennedy. Big body, 6'9", pretty skilled, really learning the system, but he's going to be good for us. He's been banged up a little bit too, has a concussion at this moment, but he's going to do some big things for us. And then some other guys, Pete Okonkwo, he came over from St. Leo in Florida, has had some knee problems, had a knee surgery about 3 weeks ago, so he's going to be out for a little bit too. So we've added a bunch of new guys, just trying to piece them all together, but I do definitely think we have good depth. I think we have pretty good talent as compared to the other schools that I've been at in the past. We just don't know the league yet. We're not real familiar with the league. We've got to get into it and figure it out, but we are excited about this group. Like I said, I like our talent. I think we've got a bunch of good guys. They're really trying to do what we ask them to do every day, and I think it could be a really fun group to coach.
You mentioned your style of play. Just talk about what fans or people around the league can really look for when you're watching the Riverhawks.
Well, we've been fortunate over the last 3 years to work for a couple good head coaches, and Chris Jans at Bowling Green, and then John Kaufman at Fort Wayne. Chris Jans is a really in-your-face defend and rebound guy that really asks a lot of you as a player, and taken from him and what I could learn from him. I had worked for him before at Independence Community College, and we are pretty good friends, but got to work for him again, and after him being with Greg Marshall at Wichita State, and some of the things that he's changed and some of the things I could learn that were different from the first time. Took a lot from that. And then going to work for Coach Kaufman at Fort Wayne, he's more of an offensive guy, very, very good offensive mind. And the last 2 years we were, top 10, top 5 in the country in scoring at Fort Wayne. And I really, like his offensive system and what we did there at Fort Wayne. And we'll do a lot of that stuff here at Northeastern State. So it will be a fast, up-tempo. I think one of the things we do pretty well is shoot the ball. So you'll see quite a few threes. At the same time, I still want to incorporate some of the stuff that I've done in the past. The toughness and the defense and the rebounding. That'll be important to us. So it'll be a little bit smash mouth on the defensive end of the floor, but on the offensive end of the floor, we're going to push the pace as quick as we can. We're going to use a lot of ball screens. We're going to try to get in gaps and get in the paint and make the defense collapse and hopefully get some open threes on the perimeter. And it'll be exciting. It'll be fast. And I think it'll be a fun style for our fans to watch.
As a guy who's traveled around the league so far, one of the biggest questions I've gotten so far is, what's your expectations for your basketball team? You've got a lot of newcomers, a coach with a very large success level. What are your personal expectations for the season?
Well, I'm not very patient, so my expectations are probably higher than a lot of people. Every year that I've stepped on the floor as a Division II coach, my personal goal and something I try to relay to my team is we want to make the NCAA tournament. In every game on the Division II level, and it's important in getting into the NCAA tournament. Your game, the first game of the season when we go to Northwest Oklahoma, is sometimes just as important as, because it's a region game, is just as important as a game against Lindenwood in February. So we want to get off to a good start. We want to be ready to go from the beginning of the season. We want to win those games that I guess you think that you should win, and maybe steal a couple that you think that you shouldn't, and hopefully find ourselves somewhere at the top of the conference race late in the year and bidding for a chance to go to the national tournament, the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's our goal. And I think if you have that goal and you've worked for that goal every day, the other things take care of themselves. The championships, your tournament seedings, all those things come. But it's all part of a process, and every day you strive to get better and do things the right way. And I think if you do that every day, then a lot of those other things take care of themselves. So I'm not, I told a group of boosters a couple weeks ago, I'm not going to promise any championships or anything like that in the first season. We've got a lot of new guys. We've got a long way to go. We're trying to learn our culture and our system. But I do want this fan base to expect that. I do want them to expect us to do big things. I do want them to expect us to win championships. And I'm going to put that pressure on myself. And we'll see what happens. But we've done it at other schools. This is a different league. Like I said, we don't quite know the league yet. I know it's really good. 2 of the past 4 national champions out of this league. I know there's tremendous coaches in this league. I know there's very good players in this league. It just speaks for itself. But I like where we're at. I like this group, and I think we can do some big things.
All right, the fans can expect the Riverhawks to be out at home on the November 15th against Rogers State. Thank you.
Thank you.